What is up, my TickleMe crew? This is Chad here, and welcome guys to another Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle. So today's battle is against Will. We just had a battle with him a couple days ago, and if you guys would like to see that battle, I'll leave a link to that battle in the description below. But this is our rematch, and he challenged me. He's a guy from my Twitter. If you guys would like the opportunity to battle Will, I will also leave a link to his Twitter in the description below. I believe he goes by Master Merrill on Twitter. But he is an awesome battler, guys. Definitely challenge him if you want. But looking at Will's team, he's bringing the Crawdaunt, Flygon, Vileplume, Rotom Heat, Dedenne, and the Torkoal, while I am bringing the Quagsire, Pikachu, Meganium, Basculin, Mega Pidgeot, and the Rapidash. So obvious threats on Will's team are definitely the Crawdaunt. That thing, without saying, is a menace to my team. Flygon's also pretty scary, Vileplume's pretty scary, and the Rotom Heat is also pretty scary, because you never really know what Rotom is going to do. There's a lot of like trick sets, and some of them are bulky, some of them are offensive. You really don't know until you get into the battle. But anyway guys, this was an amazing battle. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it, so please enjoy the show, guys. So the battle begins as I lead off with my Quagsire and Will leads off with his Torkoal. Now obviously this lead is not very good for my opponent, since Torkoal being a fire type is basically weak to both of my Quagsire's types, water and ground. So he's obviously going to switch out. He brings out his Crawdaunt here as I go for the stockpile. I predicted the switch obviously. But right here I kind of stupidly stay in here with my Quagsire as he goes for the knockoff. So now he's going to knock off my item, and that knockoff does a shit ton of damage. But I'm going to go for the Scald, hoping for the burn, but unfortunately I don't get it. So that really sucks. Getting a burn on Crawdaunt would have been amazing. But obviously he's going to switch out now. He doesn't want that, that burn on his Crawdaunt. He actually brings out Dedenne here, which I thought was a really interesting switch, since my Quagsire is immune to his electric type attacks, and I can just whack him with an Earthquake. But I'm going to go for the recover there on the switch as he goes into Dedenne and goes for the Super Fang, so that's going to cut my HP in half. And I do go for the Earthquake, but he actually lives the Earthquake with a sliver of health. His Berry's going to activate, giving him a special attack boost, but then his ability Cheek Pouch activates, giving him some HP back. I've never seen that ability before in my life. That's amazing. So not only did he get a special attack boost, but he got some HP back. That's an awesome ability. So right here, my opponent's going to bring out his Vileplume. Definitely, probably the play he should have gone for instead of Dedenne. I don't know why he didn't go into Vileplume, but I'm going to go for the recover on the switch. And I'm going to have to switch out here because Quagsire definitely does not want to take a grass type attack since it's 4 times super effective. I go out into Reggie, which is my Rapidash, predicting the grass type attack. And my opponent goes for the Giga Drain there, so that was a good switch on my part. He is going to switch out here, fearing the fire type attack. And he's going to bring out his Torkoal here. I just went for Flare Blitz because I thought it would hit basically everything on his team really hard. Other than Torkoal, of course. But I just want to play a little safe. So I do go for the Flare Blitz, and it does nothing to Torkoal, of course. Torkoal being a very, very bulky Pokemon. Plus it's a fire type, so it resists my Flare Blitz. I'm going to take some nice recoil from the Flare Blitz and my Life Orb. That is a lot of recoil, guys. So I'm actually going to stay in here and go for Drill Run. That animation is amazing. I was actually expecting the Drill Run to do a little bit more damage, because it is super effective, but that just goes to show how bulky Torkoal is, as he's now going to be able to set the Stealth Rocks, and that really sucks, especially for my Mega Pidgeot, who is essentially weak to the Stealth Rocks. I take like 25% damage every time I switch into it. So I'm obviously going to switch out here because the recoil damage is a little bit too much. I'm going to go back out into Swagmire. And I'm going to take some Stealth Rocks as he goes for the Yawn. I should have seen that coming. Basically, pretty much every Torkoal carries Yawn. And I should have seen that coming, but I didn't. So he's going to Yawn me. I'm going to have to switch out because I don't want my Swagmire being put to sleep. I'm going to go out into my Basculin here. And I really wanted Basculin to do work in this battle. I really did. But he's going to switch out into his Vileplume here. And I stupidly stay in and I let my Basculin go. I go for the Zen Headbutt expecting it to do so much more damage. I was Choice Scarf, not Choice Banded, but yeah, the super effective Zen Headbutt does nothing to Vileplume. Vileplume's just that bulky. And he's going to hit me with a Giga Drain, and that's going to one-shot my Basculin. So unfortunately, Basculin didn't really get to do much of anything in this battle. I'm going to bring out Bird Jesus now. Of course, I'm going to Mega Evolve and go for the Hurricane, as he is going to switch. Definitely a smart play on my opponent's end. He's going to bring out the Dedenne again, actually. So, definitely interesting. I was actually really expecting this Hurricane to kill the Dedenne. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but apparently this Dedenne is really resilient because it doesn't die. And I go for another Hurricane. I thought I would outspeed, and I do, luckily enough. I wasn't sure how fast this little rodent thing is, but I do luckily outspeed, and I take it out with another Hurricane, so I don't have to worry about that thing anymore. He brings out Crawdaunt here, so obviously I'm going to have to switch out. I do not want to take a adaptability Aqua Jet from this Crawdaunt, so I don't even think Pidgeot would live that at all. I'm going to bring out Oregano, my Meganium here, as he does go for the Aqua Jet. Look at this damage, guys. That's insane. That's just an Aqua Jet. 40 base power from a Crawdaunt. That's insane damage. I'm max HP. I don't have any defense investment, though. But wow, that's insane. That was resisted. So obviously he's going to switch out. He's going to go out into his Vileplume. And right here, I made some really dumb plays. I stayed in with my Meganium. I went for the Swords Dance. I'm running a really weird set, guys. Swords Dance Meganium for the win. But I'm going to get some Leftovers recovery here. I stay in like an idiot. I'm really dumb. I should have switched out. But I go for the Earthquake, expecting it to do a decent chunk. But yeah, it doesn't do much damage at all. As he goes for the Sludge Bomb, I'm only able to live that Sludge Bomb because of my HP investment. I believe I'm like max HP. But yeah, I played really dumb there, and I'm just going to leave my Meganium in and go for another Earthquake. And the Earthquake just, especially after the Black Sludge recovery on my opponent's Vileplume, the two Earthquakes just don't do much damage at all. But he's going to kill me off with another Sludge Bomb, and that really sucks. Losing Meganium, one of the bulkier Pokemon on my team, really sucked. But yeah, he's going to get another round of Black Sludge recovery. I'm going to go into Torkachu here because I knew I would outspeed. Obviously, Pikachu's pretty quick. I'm going to go for the Icicle Crash. This is, I think it's called like the Bell outfit Pikachu or whatever. But anyway, it's one of those cosplay Pikachus, which is really cool. It gets Icicle Crash, which is like a crazy move coming from Pikachu. But that is going to take out the Vileplume. He brings out his Crawdaunt again. I make another really stupid play. For some reason, I thought a Pikachu, for whatever reason, would live an Aqua Jet from a Crawdaunt. I would later find out on Twitter that this Crawdaunt's actually choice banded, which I should have realized. But yeah, Torkachu gets destroyed by this Crawdaunt. I'm going to go back out into Quagsire here. And he's going to switch out. He goes out into his Torkoal again, which I thought was a really interesting play as I go for the Scald, and that's obviously going to do a decent chunk of damage. I was actually expecting the Scald to kill, but Torkoal is apparently really bulky on both sides. It actually lives the Scald, and he's going to go for, I think, a Yawn as I go for the Stockpile. I was actually really surprised that I outspeed the Torkoal, because I think Quagsire's speed is like 50. That's insanely low speed. But he does go for the Yawn there, and at this point I just decided to stay in, and I went for another Stockpile, so I'm at +2 defense, +2 special defense. I knew I was going to go to sleep after this turn, but I was kind of having I put a lot of hope into Swagmire that he would wake up early, and that the falling asleep thing wouldn't bother me too much. But yeah, on this turn I'm going to go to sleep, and that really kind of sucks, as he's going to switch out his Torkoal now. Luckily, I got rid of the Vileplume, so I don't have to worry about that. Brings out his Crawdaunt again, and I stay fast asleep, which really sucks. I was really hoping I would get the first turn wake up, but I don't. He goes for the knockoff. Of course, it's not going to do much damage anymore since I don't have an item anymore, but I stay asleep a second turn, which really sucks. So he's going to get another knockoff off, and I finally do wake up. I go for the recovery here to get a lot of my HP back. So we're actually looking really good here. I'm at +2 defense, +2 special defense with my Quagsire. So we're looking really good here. Nothing on my opponent's team, since I got rid of the Vileplume, can really take Quagsire down, unless he gets a crit. But I'm going to go for a third Stockpile, so now I'm at cap, defense, and special defense with Stockpile. Stockpile only lets you go at +3 instead of being able to go to +6, so it kind of sucks, but really, once you're at +3 with Quagsire, you don't really need any more defense or special defense. But I'm just going to go for the Scald there, and that is going to take out the Torkoal. And from here, basically, Swagmire is just going to go on a kind of a rampage. And he's going to go for the Will-O-Wisp and burn me, which kind of sucks because I don't have the leftovers to negate the burn damage, which kind of sucks, but I do have Recover, as you guys have seen. I'm going to go for the Scald. It is super effective on the Rotom, being a Fire type. And basically, this is kind of like a little stalwart between the Rotom and Quagsire. He goes for the Shadow Ball there. He gets a special defense drop. That really sucks. But I'm just going to keep going for Scald, as one more Scald should kill off the Rotom. His berry's going to activate. I think it's a Citrus Berry. And I think on this next turn, I'm getting a little low, so I think I go for a Recover here to get some HP back. As he hits me with another Shadow Ball, of course it's going to do a little bit more damage since he lowered my special defense by 1 stage. But I do go for the Recover there. I apologize, guys. I know a lot of people don't like Stall, but this is just my way of playing, I guess. If you don't like it, don't watch. But he's going to keep going for the Shadow Ball, as I do go for Scald here. And that's going to finish off the Rotom. So Quagsire got 2 kills so far, I think. Maybe 3. I think it's 2. Yeah, I think 2. But I'm going to take some Burn Recoil here, and I'm definitely going to have to go for another Recover here shortly, as he brings out his Flygon. Now this is where the battle got really scary. He goes for the Dragon Claw here, and he gets a crit. I live with 4 HP and get my Recover off. I was terrified when I saw how much damage that Dragon Claw was doing. I was like, how in the world is it doing so much damage? I'm at +3, and then I saw that crit, and I'm like, oh, thank God I went for Recover. But he's going to keep going for the Dragon Claw as I keep recovering. I'm trying to get to a decent HP stat so I can whack him with a Scald and just try to get the burn on this Flygon to slowly whittle away at his health. But he's going to keep going for the Dragon Claw, and I think right here he gets another freaking crit, and that scared the crap out of me. I go for the Scald here, and luckily enough, I actually do get the burn on the first Scald on Flygon. So now his Dragon Claws are not going to be doing much damage at all. I think right here, his Dragon Claw did something like 9 damage. That is like nothing at all. So I go for Recover, of course. Again, another really stally part of this game, guys, but I had to do it. It was my only way of winning. So if you don't like it, sue me. But he's going to keep going for Dragon Claw, as I think I go for another Recover here. And I think he actually gets a 3rd crit. Not this turn. Nope, that was it. Yeah, he got another crit there. But wow, he got really lucky, like 3 crits in that tiny time frame. That's pretty scary. But Swagmire takes it like a baller. He's like, fuck these crits. I'm gonna live and I'm gonna spam fucking Recover, and we're gonna get through this Flygon together. So Swagmire did a fantastic job in this battle. But I think at the end of this turn, I'm going to go for a Scald here, and that is going to take out the Flygon. Finally. The Flygon was a menace with all those crits, man. He goes for a Dragon Claw, it does something like 9 damage again. I go for Scald, and that is a dead Flygon. So I think at this point in the battle, he only has 1 Pokemon left. I think. And I think I only have 2 Pokemon left. I think my Quagsire and my Rapidash are my only 2 Pokemon left. Or no, I still had Pidgeot. But yeah, his last Pokemon is this Crawdaunt. He locks himself into Knockoff as I go for the Scald there, and I don't get the burn again. God, it's like I get the burn with everything else, but this Crawdaunt just refuses to be burned. But he's going to go for Knockoff there. I go for the Recover, and guys, wait, no, it's not this play. It's a turn coming up is where things get really shitty and really scary. I don't think it's this turn, but he goes for Knockoff again, and I go for another Recover. It's this turn coming up that scared the shit out of me. I thought I had lost this game for sure. He is going to go for the Knockoff, guys, and guess what? My opponent gets another freaking crit. So, at this point in the battle, all I had left was Bird Jesus and my Rapidash. And now, here is where I got terrified, because if he was not Choice Banded, he would have won, because he could have Aqua Jetted my Pidgeot and my Rapidash, and neither of those would live not adamant, fuck, what's the ability called? Oh, I can't remember the ability, shit. Anyway, adaptability, okay. Neither my Pidgeot or my Rapidash would live an adaptability Aqua Jet. So if he was not Choice Banded there, he would have won. But since he was locked into knockoff, I was able to outspeed him and take him out with a Hurricane. So that was a fantastic game, Will. Thank you so much for the awesome games. If you guys, I'm telling you guys, our last game was amazing, and this game was amazing. So definitely go check out that last video with Will. Challenge him on Twitter. Again, I'll leave his links in the description below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like. Follow me on my Facebook and Twitter. Links, as always, in the description below. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Toodles.